Hello everyone. I'm so happy to have you all here. My name is Mohamad ALKHUDARI and I'm doing this to help you all because when I was applying for my match cycle last year, it took me a lot of time to research for every single step. So I wanted to make it easier on you so you can focus on the important stuff. I'm an average student. I graduated from Al Mansoura University in Egypt in March 2023. Um, I was done with step one. I scored 207. I did that through my fifth year, and it was not a good score, but later on it became pass or fail, so it was not a big deal. When I moved to the States, I did five rotations here through hospitals or clinics at a private doctor's clinic, and I did my step two a bit late. I did it in August, and I scored 242. I did my OIT on September 1st, and I got certified on September 26th, applied on September 27th. I received 10 interviews and I matched into internal medicine, and I really think that it's not all about scores. So I'm doing this channel to help you all figure out what is your weak points and what should you do to do better in your match. First of all, I'm gonna start by telling you general information. The match is really exhausting. It takes a lot of your time and it needs a concise and a precise person at the same time. So you need to focus on certain stuff more than other stuff. First of all, we start with the ERAS token. The ERAS token, you can buy it anytime you want, but usually at the end of June you can buy it. I think it's like $135. You can buy it through ACFMG website, the one you signed for the step one and step two. What I really think you should focus is your step two. Step two is the most important point or station in your journey. If you don't have step two, I don't think you should apply for the match and you're not gonna catch it. The perfect time to take your step two is before September because it takes 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks to receive your results, and then you have to do the OAT. Some people did the OAT before their step two, and that's okay. But for me, I wanted to make sure that I passed step two because the OAT exam is not a big deal. Actually, I did it without even studying. So what is the ERAS? The ERAS is a website where you do your application. It's divided into many sectors. Start with your personal information, areas of interest, stuff like that. It's general information like you're doing your own CV. But there is two important parts in it. First is your location of interest or geographical preferences, and the second is your experiences. The experiences and the geographical preferences are the most important because think about it like that. Whenever you're doing your CV, it's like you're telling your story. And when you're going to tell your story to a program director or a faculty, you want them to feel connected to you. So let's say I'm applying in Texas. I'm not going to apply to Texas and put my geographical, my preference to be in New York, for instance. That's not right. The same thing goes for your experiences. When you're putting your experiences, you don't just want to make it medicine, 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 medicine. No, I think you need to be as diverse as you can. You need to add some sport, hobbies, some other activities other than medicine, especially volunteering and stuff like that. We're going to talk about the ERAS application in details whenever we reach that point. I'm just now giving you a small brief about it. So after you do your ERAS CV section, you're going to move to the second section, which is the documents. The documents took a lot of time from me, especially the ECFMG certification to be uploaded to the website. Actually, there is a lot of stuff, especially for those who comes from Egypt. You need to make sure that your university has every university has an office where there is a specific employee who has direct connection with the ECFMG. What you need to make sure is you talk to him before you leave the country, because for me it caused a big trouble. I had to wait like 2 weeks to get attestation from my university for pathway 3. So after you buy the ERAS and after you get your token, you have till September 26, 25, I think, to finish all your application. You need to focus on the personal statement. The personal statement is not just a story you write. It has some specific criteria. Some people says it's not supposed to exceed 2 pages. For me personally, I did a page and a half. Some people say it's only 1 page. That's the best. I did a page and a half. I wrote it myself and then got it reviewed by some relatives, and I went to my English teacher, actually English teacher in high school, and asked him to make sure that I all the grammars and all the stuff I wrote is accurate or in a professional way. You can use ChatGPT and stuff like that. It's not very recommended because think about it again. If I'm reading your CV and I found the cliche of ChatGPT, I'm gonna know that ChatGPT is who wrote this. And second of all, it's when we are like non-US IMGs, our English is not that perfect. So if you write a CV using ChatGPT, sometimes it uses words we don't use. So a program director is smarter than this. He's gonna figure out that this is not really written by you. Beside the personal statement and primary information, there is the letter of recommendation. The letter of recommendations is basically someone writes you that you're a good doctor, that you trained under him. Any compliment you can get from someone who you trained with. There is two kinds you can get from inside the states and outside the states, and I've seen people applying with both. I don't think the outside the US is very important, but you need it. Lots of the programs, whenever you're applying, requires at least three recommendation letters. It's easy whenever you're in the states because whenever you work in a hospital, you can get like multiple letter of recommendations. Whenever you work in a clinic, you can get one. So if you were able to come to the states, that's very good. There is some information about this. We're gonna talk more in the letter of recommendation video. So we talked about the personal statement, we talked about the letter of recommendations, the personal CV, the ERAS token, when to buy it. Now, when you start to apply to the programs, beginning at September 5, you can start applying for the programs. But for me, I applied in September 23. I was very late because I was waiting for my ACFMG certificate, even though you can apply before, and whenever you get it, you just upload it and it directly goes to the programs. There is an important point we need to talk about, and it's timeline. So what's the timeline? Now we are in May 15 and the cycle starts in June 24. What I want you to make sure is I want you to finish your step 2 and have the result in your hand before August 14. I did a lot of research because I was very late. So I'm telling you the exact date. If you got it after August 14, let's say August 20, August 21, you are in a danger zone. Why I'm saying a danger zone? Because whenever you apply to the programs at the beginning of October or September 25, 26, there is some specific programs who's gonna log in their database and download all the applications. So even if you got your certificate, let's say in October 10, and you applied before that, they have already downloaded your application. I know that some programs get updated by the ECFMG. They send them that this guy got his certificate and now he is ECFMG certificated. But through my connections and through my fellow residents in other hospitals and other states in the US, they told me that some people don't get notified. Some program directors don't get notified with this. So the timeline is very important. You need to finish your step 2 before August 14 to August 17. You have time to finish your OIT, let's say till September 5, September 7. Pay attention that there is specific timing for the OIT exam. We're going to talk about the OIT in a specific video for itself. Now, after you do your step 2 and your OIT, you need to be certified. It takes about 14 to 21 days, but for me it was 12 days. Whenever you're certified, it goes directly on the website, and it's going to be smooth after that. The important thing is whenever you're applying to the programs, I don't want you to be occupied with that. I don't want you to think about it since now. You have time. There's a lot of softwares who's going to help you in this, and there's a lot of people who offer services to tell you about the right program for you and the criteria. For me, I used Help an IMG. It's a website um, helping IMG. I think it's like match a resident stuff like that. I paid like $100 and they gave me like the most 300 internal medicine program compatible with me. It's a very good website. I'm gonna talk about it whenever we get there. Now, make sure you finish your step 2 before August 15. Don't rush about the OET. It's a very simple exam. Um, the scores are not important. Your CV and your personal statement is the most important because for me personally, where I match, I think they read my personal statement before reading my scores because me personally, lots of my friends have better CVs, lots of my friends have higher scores, and they didn't match. They were not lucky. For me, with my scores 242, 207, no step 3, one research paper, I'm a hope for all of you. I'm really being like a source of hope for all. And I know that my personal statement, my CV, we can say my interview skills helped me a lot. So I'm gonna be guiding you through this journey to help you all matching, inshallah. And I know it's not a big deal. I know that everyone can match. Eventually, everyone gonna match. I don't want you to lose hope, whether you are an old grad or recently grad. Everyone matches, and especially when we look at the new statics and the new analytics of the match, we find that the IMGs are taking more positions year after year. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm gonna record more videos and answer all your questions. So I received some questions of you all. I'm gonna try to answer them one by one. So first question was, what should be our timeline for the next match? That's what I've been talking about. Regarding your question, this is from Muhammad Ibrahim. I think the most important thing is that you get your step 2 done. I started all my application after August 15. So in a month and a half, I was done with my personal statement, letter of recommendation, upload, and everything. By the way, letter of recommendation takes 5 to 7 days to upload to the ERAS system. And if you want to pay attention for something, just the personal statement, it takes some time. I think it takes about a month. So the personal statement and the experience section in the CV, those are the only two things that really takes some time and need to be read again and again and again. A question talking about how useful are telerotations. So telerotation is an option for people who cannot come to the state, even though I think it's a waste of money. Because for me as a program director, if I found that you have 4 letters of recommendation in your home country from, let's say, a chair or a program director in your country or a professor, it would be more valid to me than a telerotation you did online. If a person certified in 2019, I think so this person asking if he's certified in 2019, is he considered older grad? Actually, it depends on the time you graduated from your college, not the time you got certified. So it's a 5 years period. If you are more than 5 years, so we're gonna be applying in September 24. So if you graduated before September 19, that's an old grad. Can I match into internal medicine without research experience? Just asking. Yes, you can. I did it. That's why I'm telling you this story. That's why I'm doing these videos. Pediatrics is much less competitive than I am. I'm gonna talk about the programs I applied to. I applied for different specialties actually. And I'm gonna talk about all of these in a specific video, so don't worry about it. How to write observership in the ERAS CV to more significant. So all what I did was observations actually, and it's not a big deal. The point is you got exposed to the US healthcare system. You don't need to write that I had an observation, I had a rotation. It's a game of words. You can make it the way you want, and you can sound more professional, you can sound more resilient, you can sound more let's say more educated or more exposed or more experienced in the way you say it. Because I can have 2 residents, one of them says I had an observation, the other gonna say I had a clinical rotation. I'm gonna like the clinical rotation even though they did the same thing. for us, whoever who graduated after their internship and they want to apply for their first cycle, like me, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You just have to have the letter of recommendation. I think that's the most important thing. Let's say if there's any other question. So there's a question talking about the IMG friendly programs. Actually, um, a lot of the softwares I use, they gave me the IMG friendly locations. Actually, I didn't get even interviewed there. I got interviewed in places where no one told me it's IMG friendly. I did some statistical research and stuff whenever I was on the Residency Explorer, where I would look how much percentile is getting interviewed, how much people is getting matched, how many positions they have, and I did my own calculation. We're going to talk about this whenever it's the time. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed with all the stuff. I think the best thing to do right now is to do it one by one and focus it one by one. You don't need to get yourself occupied with all these stuff. So first thing is to do step two. You're done with step two. Do your certificate with the OIT. You're done with that. That's good. Buy your ERAS token. Start doing your CV and letter of recommendation and personal statement. You have till September to start talking about the programs and the residency programs. So I think that's the video for today. We're gonna be connected. I'm gonna try to do a video every week. I'm starting my residency in 4 weeks, so I'm gonna try to do as much as I can right now. Because whenever you start, you're gonna be occupied and busy. Thank you all for watching. It would really mean a lot to me if you would hit the like button, the subscribe button, and share this video with everyone you know who is going for the match, because I'm really trying to help everyone I can.